Hello, scholars. I am going to walk you through this week's lesson, which builds off of last week's lesson. Let's start with the do now. In this lesson, you will use the research you did last week to create a presentation. All you need to do is click on the next slides and insert the information and images as directed. If you need help, you will find tutorials on how to do things at the end of this presentation. So you can see here, you're going to create an example, you're going to create a poster, or you're going to write a report. Geologist task: create a presentation. It's your turn to teach someone about one of the change processes that you have been learning about in this unit. You may either write a report or create a poster. There are even bonus points for including a recording of you presenting your report or your poster. You will need your completed resource page from last week. Choose one of the options below for a template for your presentation. Then click on it to be redirected to a template. So let's start with writing a report. This is the example resource page that we created last week. So you can see here it's on weathering, which is an event that changes the surface of the earth. These are the same 3 resources that we used last week in the example. These are the 3 same facts that we learned from those 3 resources. And then my conclusion, our conclusion, that it is generally a slow process. So again, we created this resource page last week. On the next slide is an example report. So you're going to type the name of your event. And again, this week we are using weathering for the example. And in this first box up here is your template. So you have the name of your event is a slow or quick, and you're going to choose one of those, process that changes the Earth's surface. Next sentence, you're going to describe or define your event. Third sentence, one piece of evidence for, and you're going to replace this with the name of your event, is when you're going to replace this line with one of your pieces of evidence from last week's activity. And then the fourth sentence is another piece of evidence for, and then the name of your event is when, use another piece of evidence from last week's activity. And then your fifth sentence is your conclusion sentence, and it reads, name of your event changes Earth's surface slowly or quickly. And again, you're going to choose one of those. So here is what a sample report will look like. Weathering is a slow process that changes the Earth's surface. Weathering happens when pieces of Earth are broken down into small pieces by wind or water. One piece of evidence for weathering is when water freezes in crevices in the Earth. When the ice expands, it cracks the Earth. Fourth sentence, another piece of evidence for weathering is when the island of Pele in Canada is weathering and eroding away. Weathering changes Earth's surface slowly. And then you can include a picture that you draw, or you can copy and paste an image from the internet. The next slide is going to be your turn, and you'll be able to fill in the name of your event, whether it is slow or quick, describe or define your event, and then going to replace anything that has an underline. Okay. The next option, and remember you only need to choose one, is for you to make a poster. This is the same example resource page. And this is an example poster. So you will obviously change the event to one of the other 5 resources or 5 events that were listed last week. And you're going to fill in each of these spaces. So on the template, all you're going to need to do is double click on the space and you'll be able to type it in. So this is what the final product will look like. And this is your template. So again, all you're going to need to do is double click on event, copy and paste a picture, double click on speed, type it in. And then for each of these other 3 spaces, copy and paste an image. And then you could, again, double click and insert a description of the image that you paste. And that's it. The key takeaway is that weathering and erosion are usually events that change Earth's surface slowly. Natural disasters change Earth's surface quickly.